your chairmanship. And may I also congratulate my honourable friend, the member for North West, in securing this debate and for representing my parents-in-law so well. It was a real blow to hear that the electrification of the Great Western Main Line would be deferred beyond Bath Spa. Not least because I think as a region we had all rather hoped that over the course of this Parliament we'd be making the case for electrification to go on beyond Bristol to Weston-super-Mare and then on to Taunton and then on down into the far southwest. So the fact that we are now sort of here asking for it to be electrified to Bristol as originally planned is somewhat disappointing. Now I have just one station in my constituency, which is some way south of Bristol at Highbridge and Burnham, although many people do commute from there into Bristol and on into London, but many more of my constituents will access the rail network in my honourable friend, the member for Weston-super-Mare's constituency at Whirl, or in my right honourable friend, the member for North Somerset's constituency at Yatton. And so there is a real interest for my constituency in seeing the electrification to Bristol completed and journey times improved alongside commuter capacity. So in the brief time that we have today, I just wanted to make a couple of asks. The first is that the bimodals are a hugely impressive train in the technology that they employ, but there is a sense that they've got sort of one foot in the past with diesel and one foot in the current with the electrification. Given that so many of those bimodal trains operating out of Paddington towards Templemeads will continue their journey on from Templemeads to Weston or to Taunton or to Exeter, is there not perhaps a case for unmuzzling those trains as the trains that will operate on the Reading, Castle Carey, Taunton line have been unmuzzled, so they have a bit of extra oomph to accelerate whilst under diesel power? Secondly, my honourable friend, the member for Bristol North West, raised the arrival of the additional rolling stock from the Thames Valley, given the deferral of the electrification there. That is a real issue. Now, I know from conversations earlier today with the Minister that it may be that the arrival of that rolling stock is not through the deferral, but delays elsewhere. Either way, that rolling stock is absolutely key. The commuter belt around Bristol, I know the part to the south particularly well, but I'm sure it's the same for parts to the north and east as well, is increasingly congested. And two or three carriage trains trying to serve those routes is simply not enough. And we need very urgently that rolling stock to come down from the Thames Valley to serve that growing rail demand in the West Country. And my final point is simply to ask the Minister that today he very kindly came along to the launch of the Peninsula Rail Task Force report, just to ensure that all of the things that are in this report for resilience in the far southwest do not find themselves competing with the very urgent things that need to be done to improve connectivity to Bristol.